I'm always getting asked, how do I wash my cast iron? How do I season it? How do I take care of it? When I was growing up, we did not wash cast iron. The only thing we did was wipe it out with a paper towel, and that was it. I can still do that to this pan here. This one here that I make biscuits on and bread, I can still do that to this pan, but it's old and it is so seasoned that this one I can get away with. I had a skillet this size that I could still just wipe out with. I never really had to use soap and water, but it was so well seasoned, nothing stuck to it. And that skillet fell off the countertop and hit the tile floor that we had at a time, and it shattered. Yeah, it shattered when it hit the tile floor. Anyways, with the newer cast iron, like the Lodge pieces, they're rougher. It's going to take a while for them to get seasoned. So all I do is I do wash them with soap and water. If you can get one of these things, these are good. It's a scraper. It can go in and all the different edges, and it scrapes off food. This came with one of my skillets, but I've seen these in stores that you can buy, but they're good at scraping food off even before you add any water. Sometimes this is all you need, but there's nothing wrong with washing your skillets with soap and water. But the key with washing with soap and water is never let them sit and soak, and you have to dry them completely. Have to dry them. Other people may do this completely different, but this is what I do. They are easier to clean, and you don't have to use as much elbow grease and soap and water if you wash them right after you get finished cooking with them. If I'm frying and I'm using just grease and like frying chicken or something like that, I just pour the grease off and then I wipe the skillet out with a towel, and that's it. But if I cooked in it like this shepherd's pie that I did the other day in here, I will use soap and water and scrub it all out. This is my favorite pan. My skillet I had was just like it. I mean, it is smooth, and I mean, I don't even have to use soap and water on this the majority of the time. Your newer skillets, your new cast iron don't come like this. It takes a while to get it this way. This part you cannot skip. If anything, you cannot skip this. You have got to get these things dry, dry, dry. Okay? Don't let them air dry. You need to get all of the water off. Now that this one's dry, I really don't have to do anything to this one. I'm done with this pan. The first few times I cook with a new cast iron, or one of the ones you get nowadays, I do drench it in grease, flip it upside down in the oven for a high heat, and try to keep seasoning it. But now that I have been using these for over a couple of years now, I just get a paper towel with some of my grease. You can use bacon grease, but I'm just using some of my lard I've been cooking with. And then I rub it all in these pots. And then I turn my stove on and let them sit here on the stove for just a few minutes. I don't do the bottom of the pan on the outside. I just do this top and on the inside of the skillet. I don't have it drenched in grease, but I am doing a heavy coat of this oil, this lard I've been using to cook. And then I turn the stove on and let it kind of seal into it without going back into the oven. I usually leave this on until I start to see it smoke a little bit, and then I turn the stove off. So once you turn your stove off, you can do one or two things. You can get another towel and wipe the excess out, or you can let it just sit here and dry and cool off, and you really don't have anything you have to wipe out. But that's what I do when I'm routinely using my cast iron. A lot of people do it differently, but this is the way I've been doing it my whole entire adult life. It's different than what I did as a child, though. Okay, anyways, bye, love you.